My top 20 favorite gay characters. Today's fan art was provided by Gabrielle VVV, and it is a realistic depiction of my persona. If you would like to submit some fan art and have it featured in a video, at me on YouTube or at me on Seeker of Light Official on Tumblr, and you will be included. Anyways, I decided to do my top 20 favorite gay characters. Now, this is based off of how good I think they are as characters, like how much I love them, not based off of how good at, being gay representation they are, because some of them are kind of bad representation, not in the sense that they're stereotypical, but certain ones, you find out that they're gay at the very end, and that's fine. Anyways, as I was saying, number 20 is Korra. Now, I love Korra. I'm a big fan of the Avatar, like the real Avatar Classic. I'm a big fan of Avatar Classic as a whole. I'm not super big on Avatar the Blue People. And it's been a hot minute since I've seen Korra, but if I were to see it again, like, recently, it'd probably be higher on this list, but alas, I haven't seen Korra in several years. But Korra's number 20. I really liked Korra. She was probably the first bisexual I saw on screen, even if, you could very well miss that her and Asami are gay for each other, and chalk it up to them being friends. But they crawled so that other people could walk, and that's fine. Number 19, Moxie, because I like Moxie. I love his fun and beautiful personality. I love Moxie just as a whole. I think that he's fun. Okay. I think that he's fun. Number 18, Ravenpaw and Barley. Yes, they are two characters, but I think that they're cute. And you cannot make me decide between one of them, or they pick, they take two slots, and I feel like that's lazy. So I love Ravenpaw and Barley. Is this canon? Yes, technically, in the comics, it's canon. So I'm counting it as canon, so it gets to be a non-honorable mention. It's just being mentioned right here. They're my number 18th favorite gay characters. Just like in there. Okay. Number 17, Jackson Hall from the Bone Season. He's actually not gay. He is a romantic asexual. Now, he doesn't have that label on him officially, but he is quite disgusted by romance and sex and relationships as a whole. I love him, but I also hate him. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with Jackson Hall. I hate him as a person. As a character, I find him really intriguing, and I find him interesting, okay? And I want to know more about Jackson Hall, okay? I want to know what led you to do such things. Yeah, anyways, what number are we on? Number 16, Stolas. I love Stolas, okay? Stolas, probably one of my most favorite characters, okay? I'm not sure, how to feel about him, as a person, but I do very much like Stolas. I did kind of rip into him a little bit in my Hell of a Boss video, but, I like Stolas. I want it to be clear, I do like Stolas. I think that Stolas is very fun. I just think that he's like a giant frickin' baby, and it's very interesting. But, yeah. Number 15, Terry from the Dragon Prince. Now, I have my feelings about Terry. He's a big cinnamon roll, okay, and I feel like he could have a bit more characterization, but he is one of the highlights of the big piping hot mess of mid fluff that is the latter 1/3 of the Dragon Prince. So I will take what I have, okay? But yeah, that's number 15 is Terry. I love Terry. Okay, he's wearing a visible binder. He goes on like this whole frickin' like speech about how he is in fact transgender and he just doesn't care. His girlfriend's dad does not give a shit, okay? And we love Viren for that, okay? We love you, Viren. I actually really hate Viren. Number 14, Ballister Boldheart. I do not well, okay. I love his energy, okay? I love his energy. He's so uptight and he plays off of Nimona really well. My favorite brand of character is when the Gabe character plays the straight man, okay? I love it when that happens. Okay, that's one of my favorite things. Okay, that's like, I love that. He's so beautiful. I love Ballister. I love Ballister so much. Fun fact, I am following NB Stevenson on Tumblr, okay? Because who isn't? Like, I love Ballister Boulevard, okay? Number 13, Runan from the Dragon Prince. Yes, I do. I love the Dragon Prince, and it's a shame that it turned into what it was, but I very much do love Runan. This is another example of the gay man playing the straight man. The straight man as in, like, my mom explained this concept to me. It's where, like, there's a character that jokes and a character that's very serious. And, like, you've seen this done before. Nimona is the gay man, or the not straight man in Nimona, and Rayla is the not straight man in, the Dragon Prince, whenever she's got her dynamic with Runan, and I love Runan, okay? I named my OC's father after Runan, and, like, I love him, okay? I think that he's neat. I love me a good, like, I love a good, like, emotionally stunted gay, a morally gray gay. He's a bit worse than gray. He's like a dark gray, I think. He was just following orders. Sorry. Also, this is just a Runan Athari PSA. Stop making Athari a twink. Okay? I see a lot of people, and this happens with more ships than just Runan and Athari, but this one bothers me especially. You don't need to make one of them a twink. You don't need to make Athari a twink. Like, people, they make him shorter than Runan. He's not shorter than Runan. He has very big muscles. Stop twinkifying Athari. Okay? Don't twinkify either of them. We as a community need to stop mimicking heterosexuality, okay? That's something that we need to cut out. Stop doing that. But, like, don't make Athari a twink, okay? Just don't. Just stop. No more. Boo. Boo to people who twinkify Athari. He does not need to look like that. Yeah, anyways, who's number 12? Catra. I relate to Catra on a personal level. I wanted to do a Catra video essay. Unfortunately, it is no longer on Netflix, and every single time I try to pirate something, my device gets a virus, so I'm not gonna risk piracy anytime soon. I know that I am, in fact, getting a job, but I don't want to buy a new device because my job is for my trip to Europe. That is why I have a job, and as soon as I pay it off, I'm probably gonna quit that job. Because who needs a job when you're 17? Okay. But I want to go to Europe. That's why I'm getting a job. So I don't want to spend my money on frivolous things that don't involve my trip to Europe, like a new laptop, because I wanted to go pirate the frickin' She-Ra. Okay. She-Ra should stay on Netflix as God intended. Okay. So that I can write my frickin' video essay on She-Ra. Okay, I shouldn't have to pirate it. I'm already paying for Netflix. What the frick kind of country do I live in? I'll just buy the box set when it comes out. What was I saying? Oh yeah, number 12, Catra. I really love Catra. I love the way that she behaves. I I love that she's like emotionally stunted and lashes out. Because of that, I love Catra. I love Catra. Catra is my baby girl. Less so the number one, but Catra's my baby girl. I love Catra. Okay. She's my guy. Not necessarily my guy, but she's my favorite character. I find her very fascinating. I kind of wish that we had a bit longer of a final season so that she could get a bit more of an arc with like a bit more complexity, but I think what we have is fine, because I feel like the whole purpose of her character is that she's at the start of her arc. She's just starting to, get back to where she is, and she's just starting to get better, okay? She still has a lot of work to do, and, I like Catra, okay? Number 11, Barney. I love Barney. Barney from Dead End Paranormal Park, specifically the show on Netflix. I need to rewatch that show because I really love that show in particular. But yeah, that's my number 11. I think that's the most explicit trans rep that I've seen in a show for a while, actually. And I do like his personality. Like, I feel like sometimes the nervous gay person with anxiety is kind of overdone, but I think it's a reasonable trade-off for, like, such an open, like, trans mask representation, like, as a whole, And, yeah. And watch Paranormal Park if you have Netflix. It's pretty good. I very much like Paranormal Park. Number 10, Nicholas Nygaard from the frickin' Bone season. I don't know if there's anything I can say about Nick. Nick is probably one of the very few characters that I like as a person and I like as a character at the same time. A lot of the times I like bad people as characters, but Nick is just like, he's so good. Like, out of all the characters in the Bone season, they all do such morally bad things all the time, and Nick is the only person that there's not a single decision so far. I'm halfway through book 2. Wait, no, I'm halfway through book 3, okay. There are very few decisions. I can't think of a single decision Nick made that was like, holy shit, that's morally reprehensible. Like, yes, is he in the mafia? Yes. Does he do crimes? Yes. But does he also risk his life to save Voyance from actual death? Yes, he does. And he's a doctor, and he's chill, and he saved Paige when she was like 9, and I love Nick, okay? I love Nick. He's such a cinnamon roll. I sure hope nothing bad happens to Nick. I sure do hope nothing bad happens to Nick. I would cry. I am more emotionally attached. I would be more wrecked if Nick died than if, like, ooh, that's a horrible. Actually, no, I will take Arcturus above Nick, but, like, it's very close. It's very close. I feel like Arcturus would deck me more, but, because I'm kind of expecting something bad to happen to Nick, because characters that pure do not stick around, but I would be decked if Arcturus, anything bad happened to Arcturus, because, like, he's the person I least expect, What was I saying? Anyways, number 9, Paige. Now you may be thinking, this is Paige from the Bone season. What? Paige is gay? Paige is demisexual and also bisexual, so, Paige is gay. I love Paige Mahoney. Paige is my child. I love Paige. I sure hope nothing bad happens to Paige. The Bone season is just 6 whole books of bad things happening to Paige. Like, girl cannot catch a break. But I love Paige. She's the queen of making bad decisions. I just got past the point where this book gave me fucking war flashbacks, okay? So, like, Paige just, like, dumped her boyfriend, got back together with her boyfriend, and dumped him again within the span of, like, 3 weeks. And this shit happened to me, like, in real life. Which, like, I can't blame Paige, because you know what? If I was running a rebellion, I would make some horrible decisions in, like, romance. So I can't really blame her, but regardless, that is why she's lower on this list right now, because I just got done reading that, and, gave me freaking war flashbacks. Listen, Paige was running a rebellion, what's your excuse, dumbass? But, shit sent me into a spiral, okay, but, I love her anyways, okay, she's my baby girl, even if I hate some of the decisions she makes, okay, she's not pure, that's a bad word, but she is, I love her, okay, I love Paige, anyways, who's next, number 8, Sundu, yeah, I agree with Pasmi's decision. Sundu is number 8, okay. I love Sundu, I love her personality. I too am a gay person with anger issues. If Sundu was a real person, I would not like to be around Sundu. But I do like Sundu as a character because, you know, she gets her done and she still has a heart. And, you know, I like Sundu, okay. There's not much I can say about Sundu. Okay, I like Sundu. I need to reread the 3rd arc, it's been a while. I need to reread basically all of Wings of Fire, but I need to finish reading the Bone season, and I need to finish reading book 16. I'm so close to being done with book 16, okay? And I need to, like, there's a lot of stuff I need to do before I can sit down and reread the previous arcs. But that is on my list of things to do, okay? Number 7, Zubul. I love Zubul. There's not much I can say about Zubul. They're like, I'm not sure if they're non-binary. I know canonically he does use, any pronouns according to that one Gooseworks ask on Tumblr. But, yeah, I like Zubul. There's not much I can say about them because they are probably one of the more, lesser focused on characters in the Amazing Digital Circus. I think the only character that's less focused on is frickin' Gangle. And I think if I got more focused on Gangle, I'd probably like Gangle, like, a lot. I wish there were more seasons, okay, but, you know, if a show feels like it's time for the show to be over, you know, there's no point in keeping it around because then it's just gonna be miserable. Ahem, the Dragon Prince. I'm looking right at you. So, you know, if we're just not gonna get more time with the characters for me to see more of Zubul, I can kind of accept that, but that doesn't mean I need to be happy about it, you know. You get it. Anyways, number 6, Double Trouble from She-Ra. I love Double Trouble. I love in She-Ra. There's a lot of the characters are in it because they want an emotional, like, they have an emotional goal that they're in it to, or that they're in it for, and it was kind of refreshing to see a villain that was just in it for the cash. And I love Double Trouble. They're a very chaotic character. They have no sympathy. There's no sympathy for Double Trouble at all. Like Hordak, you can have sympathy for. The only other character you don't have any sympathy for in the entire show is Horde Prime. But Double Trouble is at least fun, and Double Trouble can't do as much harm as Horde Prime can, and as Horde Prime does, so you don't hate Double Trouble on the same level as you hate Horde Prime. Or at least I don't. I love Double Trouble, okay? I am in the Double Trouble fan club, okay? More love for Double Trouble. We need more love for non-binary characters as a whole. They're just so fun. They're chaotic, okay? And I love Double Trouble. Okay, Double Trouble, they could never make me hate you, okay? But I love Double Trouble. Anyways, number 5, Adora. I personally relate to Adora a lot. I also relate to Catra, but I relate to Adora. I feel like my less harmful tendencies that are bad for me, I relate to Adora. I feel better about myself relating to Adora than I do for Catra, so I think that's probably why I like Adora more. Like, the reasons I relate to Catra is because I have anger issues and I don't like myself, and I can have very strong mood swings, but the reasons I relate to Adora is because I'm kind of a people pleaser and I don't really know what I want in life. And I feel better about relating to Adora for that reason. Because relating to Catra, it feels bad relating to Catra. Even though I know that there's like nothing wrong inherently with, relating to a fictional character. But I think that is why I like Adora more than I like Catra. Also, Catra is just like Catra's a hot mess as a whole, and I agree that is part of like why I like her, but she also like kind of broke the world, like on purpose. So, yeah, but I do very much like Adora. That scene with Mara where she's like, "What do you want, Adora?" I'll put that up on screen. But like that scene, it broke me. It made me cry the first time I watched it. That entire time where she's like almost dying, like, yeah. Anyways, number 4, May from Night in the Woods. Now I'm playing Night in the Woods right now, so that's probably why she's so high up on the list. But according to the devs, she's canonically pansexual. So, she absolutely 100% counts. I have to re-record this part because I guess my microphone is racist. So if you have any, if this part sounds different, that is why. Number 3, third favorite gay character, Olrox from Castlevania Nocturne. I love Olrox. I think that he's a very interesting character. Probably one of the most interesting characters in Castlevania Nocturne. I really love him. I also really like Annette. And I really like Alucard. I always love Alucard. But Olrox was just like so good, especially because in Castlevania Nocturne, if you've seen it, like, it's a very good TV show, and this might just be a me problem, Maria and Richter annoy the ever-loving crap out of me, especially Maria more towards the beginning and Richter more towards the end, and I don't think they're intentionally towards the front. I think Maria is definitely meant to be annoying. I don't think Richter was intentionally annoying a lot of the times, but like I was feeling Alucard's annoyance. And you know what? I did not feel annoyance at Olrox. I love I love Olrox. Okay, I'm an Olrox fan. Okay, congratulations to Annette, Olrox, Olrox's boyfriend, and Edward. And Alucard. Those are the only 5 characters I could stand in that entire show. Okay? And like, for the record, I do like him for reasons other than he was the only character that didn't annoy me, but I don't think I would like him as much if he wasn't one of the only characters that didn't annoy me. I thought that he would be much more of a villain. I don't know if that was just me reading into it, but I was not expecting him to be a good guy, especially because the whole, I turned him into a vampire because I loved him. And then he's like, his boyfriend's like, are you gonna turn me into a vampire? And he's like, no, because I don't love you. And I thought that was like so vicious. That was so Nishira core, okay. I love Olrox. Number 2, Alucard. And you may be asking yourself, Alucard's gay? And I'm like, yes, Alucard had sex with a man in the Castlevania TV show. Did that man want to kill him? Yes, absolutely. Doesn't mean he's not gay for it. Well, he's bisexual. Whatever. Also, all vampires are bisexual until proven otherwise. Like, listen, I'm just spitting facts. Okay, I'm just saying, all vampires are gay until proven otherwise. And that's just an objective fact in the world. Gonna need to accept that. Okay. Anyways, let's get on to some honorable mentions, because these are characters that I read as gay, but they aren't, like, canonically gay, or they aren't, like, up there. Rauru. Rauru is bisexual. No, I will not explain. Okay. No, I will not explain. Like, listen, that's my bisexual guy. Okay. Do I like Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, sort of. I like the gameplay. Do I like the story? No. Not really. Not at all, actually. Do I like Rauru? Do I like the Zonai? Yes, I do. I love the Zonai. They're like the best thing that came out of this game, and if Nintendo doesn't bring them back in the next game, I am going to cry. But yeah. Wait, no, this isn't a number. We're still in the honorable mentions. Okay. Terabelle. I'm pretty sure she's canonically actually pansexual. I'm pretty sure all the Refume are pansexual. I love her. But I also hate her. She's sort of like a Jackson Hall situation. I think she's an interesting character. And I would love to know more about Terabelle, but like at the same time, she's also like kind of a massive bitch. So, and no, I do not feel bad about saying that because I've been called a bitch in the past. And you know what? She kind of is, she actually threw Paige. Paige did not deserve that. Okay. Like, nobody deserves to be thrown, but like, she especially didn't because she was just, minding her own business. And you know what? Terabelle threw her. Okay, Paige did not deserve that. Also, Paige did not deserve to be treated that way just because she happened to steal Terabelle's man. Okay, listen, that's just like you shouldn't be that mean about it. Okay, listen. Anyways, another honorable mention is Mizu. You cannot. I know that it's not canon. Okay, I know that canonically Mizu is not transmasc. That being said, you can pry transmasculine Mizu out of my cold, dead hands, okay? That man is my trans guy, and I love him very much, okay? Look, that's my guy, okay? And you know what? When the next season comes out, you can say I told you so. Let me have it for one more season, okay? Listen, my opinion. Okay, let me have my opinion. You can be wrong in the comments, that's okay. Another one, this was actually pointed out by a viewer of mine, Wasp, from, like, it's kind of hard to read Wasp as something other than a romantic asexual. I was not paying attention to this because Wasp as a character, I don't find her that interesting. She feels like kind of a generic bad guy to me. But now that I am thinking about it, she's never had a husband and she's never had, kids, and she finds relationships kind of, so like Wasp is a romantic asexual, I feel. I agree with that commenter. Anyways, some other notable mentions include Stella from Spiritfarer. She is not a lesbian, but she's a lesbian in my heart. Gwen from Spiritfarer, because every single Gwen is trans. No, that's not the reason. Every single Gwen is trans. That is a canon event. But a female deer with antlers, I don't think that happens. Unless there's a specific kind of deer. I'm not sure, but like, either way, I'm going with it. Female deer with antlers, daddy issues, transgender. Okay, that's, Gwen is my transgender queen right there. This is just getting into my headcanons, and I can acknowledge that. Another honorable mention, the Ryland Grace guy from frickin' Project Hail Mary, aromantic asexual. You can pry that from my cold, dead, unmoving hands, okay? That's my guy right there. Anyways, back to number one, which you will see in a minute. Number one, my favorite gay character. Number one, Arcturus Mesarthim. Listen, I love Arcturus Mesarthim. Shout out to the guy in my Tumblr asks, telling me that there's nothing gay about liking Arcturus Mesarthim. If you do it my way, if you like Arcturus Mesarthim the way I do, yes, that is gay. Okay, I am gay for Arcturus Mesarthim. And you may be saying, Briar, just because you're gay for him doesn't mean that he's gay. Isn't he dating a woman? Yes. But he also has an ex-husband, so let me have him. Okay, that's my favorite gay character right there. He's the gay character. He is kind and respectful. The best representation. Okay, ignore the fact that we don't figure out that he has an ex-husband until way, way far into it, okay? Ignore that. He's kind and he's respectful, and he jumped into a freezing river to save that girl who dumped him, very shortly after, and he does not care about that, and he respects her decision because he's a good guy, and you know what? I love him. I love Arcturus Meserthem. He can play the pipe organ. He's got a good vocabulary, and he's respectful, and he's kind, and he had a pet deer for a while there, and I love him. I love Arcturus Meserthem. And he's my number one. He's my guy. He's my baby girl. Anyways, thanks for watching. Put down your top 10 favorite gay characters. Put down your top 20. I don't really care. Anyways, I will see you on Friday. Thanks for listening to me yap. This was an interesting video. I might make another one. Anyways, bye.